Good morning. Good morning. We begin where we actually live, not where we imagine saints float about on cushions. We begin where the phone hums in your pocket, children call from the other room, a truck backs up with a beeping that could qualify as a minor plague, and someone, somewhere, has decided that your inbox must never know a Sabbath. This is the room. These are the sounds. Life is not waiting until our calendars are polite. Oh, not at all. Not at all. And I have a suspicion you and I will not reform the traffic by noon. Now I hear the honest objection, and I bless it for its honesty. I can't be still. My life is chaotic. I understand, and I want to remove at once the sense that this confession is a spiritual defect. It is not a defect. It is the century we inhabit, the city we share, the household that feeds itself and the world by moving quickly. The teacher's task, then, cannot be to demand a monastery for every living room and a cloister for every bus route. The teacher's task must be to reveal a place in you that is already quiet, already whole, already here. You don't need a quiet world, only a quiet point within. Hear it again, not as a slogan, but as an invitation. You don't need a quiet world, only a quiet point within. And because repetition helps where hurry has worn grooves, let it sound once more. You don't need a quiet world, only a quiet point within. If that is so, then where is it? How do we find it when the doorbell and the deadline ring at the same time? And what do we do about the neighbor who believes leaf blowers were created for midnight? This is not a philosophy class. This is an experiment. We will not wait for silence to visit us like a rare bird. We will practice while the kettle rattles, while the dog insists on cosmic urgency at the window, while a text message announces the end of the world and the beginning of another. Interruptions are not our enemies. They are bells. They are the bells that remind us to turn, briefly, inward. We shall discover whether there is, in each of us, a still point that can be touched in seconds, right in motion, right in the kitchen, right in the office corridor where the fluorescent light hums like a yogi with a cold. Let me reassure you before you assign me a robe and sandals. We are not going to become monastic, strange, or impractical. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It doesn't mean we throw away clocks. It doesn't mean we refuse to answer the door. It doesn't mean we scold our children into reverence. It means only this. In the midst of noise, we learn to rise above the sea of thought, not by force, not by fight, but by touching a quiet point within, a point that does not argue with noise because it is not made of noise. And I wonder, could it be that this very chaos, which we have resented, is a proving ground? A testing ground in which we discover that the kingdom is not hiding on a mountain, but sitting patiently under the surface of your next breath. If so, then nothing need be postponed. Not the dishes, not the spreadsheets, not the diaper, not the deadline. We will meet them, but not as beggars braced against a storm. We will meet them as men and women who know where the still point lives. Let us then agree to treat today as a laboratory. Let the ring of the phone be our bell. Let the rattle of the city be our choir. And let us begin. Now, if we are honest, and we may as well be, since the kettle tattles on us, the outer clamor is rarely the real tyrant. The louder voice is usually indoors. By thought, I do not mean only a string of ideas. I mean the whole panorama, everything that can be seen, heard, tasted, touched, smelled. And then the stream of interpretation that rushes to meet it. The horn sounds, and at once another horn, the inner horn, says, "That should not be." The email arrives, and the inner editor declares, "I am behind." The toddler cries, which is a simple sound, and then the inner foreman cracks a whip. "Fix this now, or everything collapses." This, beloved, is the sea of thought. Which is easier to manage? The garbage truck on the street, or the story that the garbage truck means you can't be at peace? Is your peace actually dependent on the driver finishing his route on your timetable? If so, who is master, you or the route? Is your quiet hostage to the blue light in your pocket? If so, whose pocket is this life living in? Or could it be that we have given omnipotence to conditions, and then wondered why they rule like small, noisy emperors? Let us be clear. The outer events have a place. The bill should be paid. The child should be comforted. The casserole should come out before it becomes a fossil record. Oh, not at all. Not at all. We are not advocating neglect. We are diagnosing the hidden burden, the inner commentary that adds a second storm to the first drizzle. The problem is not the pan on the stove. The problem is the inward sentence. If I don't manage all of this perfectly, I will fall out of life. That sentence is not fire. That sentence is smoke. Our work is not to silence the world, nor to build a dam against thinking with more thinking. The work is to rise above the sea of thought, even for one breath at a time. Not an hour on a mountaintop, not an exile from your inbox. Micro-ascents. 10 seconds of turning. One quiet inward glance that does not argue, does not decorate, does not recite. An actual awareness, an actual feeling of presence. A click. Until we feel it stirring, we have ideas about God, not God. And ideas, however orthodox, do not still the inner commentator. They only give it new vocabulary. Preempt the misunderstanding, please. This is not suppression. We are not pushing thoughts under the rug to trip over them later. This is not pretending. We are not saying there is no noise while the jackhammer writes its autobiography under our window. And this is not positive thinking, which is merely rearranging the furniture in the same house. Thinking won't make this so. Only contact makes it so. The difference is as real as the difference between reading a menu and tasting a meal. So try the small ascent. The child cries. Before the fixer leaps, turn 1 inch within and ask, without words, who hears? The phone rings. Before the story gallops, pause and touch the quiet point. Just long enough to remember that your being is not made of rings and pings. The inbox swells. Before the tide pulls, lift to that breath above the waves. These are not escapes. These are permissions. Permissions to let right action proceed from presence instead of panic. If we learn this even in fragments, we will begin to see that the loudest chaos was never the truck, nor the toddler, nor the task. It was the myth that peace must be purchased by perfect conditions. And the myth melts, not by argument, but by a moment of realized presence. Now, what is it we are turning toward? Not a sentence about God, no, not a sentence. An actual awareness, an actual feeling of presence. Often it is so slight you could miss it while reaching for more impressive fireworks. A settling, a hush, a click. Not a bang, not a trance, not a halo in the kitchen. Just the faintest sense that the center has moved from the narrative to the presence that hears the narrative. That is enough. That is the door. Here is the practice, and I commend it to you, as you would learn to breathe again in a stuffy room. Pause, only long enough to notice the next sentence you were about to think, and let it drop. Do not decorate it. Do not argue with it. Simply let it fall like a coat from your shoulder. Then inwardly listen. Not for a lecture, not for thunder. A simple listening. Speak, Father, without demanding words. Give it 10 seconds. One breath in, one breath out. And in that small hollow between them, the click may be felt. It is not manufactured. It is recognized. It is not summoned. It is there. Now, permit me to sweep away the usual misunderstandings before they set up housekeeping. This does not mean spacing out and letting the soup burn. Oh, not at all. Not at all. It does not mean we become passive, rubber people rolling through life while bills multiply. It does not mean we withdraw from responsibility. It does not mean we lose our efficiency. As a matter of fact, this 10-second turning will make you more efficient because it removes the second storm, the inner storm, and lets right action proceed without argument. The fingers type cleaner. The voice answers kinder. The mind sees straighter. The quiet point is movable. It does not belong to a chair or to a monastery. It will ride with you in an elevator where strangers study the buttons as if they were scripture. It will meet you at a red light. Eyes open, please. Keep your attention on the road and your heart on the presence. It will stand by the sink while you wash a dish that has seen better days. It will be right there when someone is talking at you and the old reflex wants to defend. 10 seconds and the defense drops away, and there is room for wisdom to do the speaking. Do not measure this by minutes or fireworks. If you touch it for a breath, that is success. One breath above the sea of thought is the beginning of divine consciousness. One click in the middle of motion is the seed of the day's harvest. You are not trying to become holy. You are practicing honesty. Honesty about where your life actually lives. And each small turning is cumulative. 10 seconds here, 7 there, 4 somewhere between the laundry and the laptop. These become a new center of gravity. The kingdom is not delayed until the weekend. It is present to be recognized, one breath at a time. Let this be our craft. Seek the click, and let all else be added. Now, if the pan is smoking, and the phone is shouting, and your calendar has developed a personality, I know the old reflex. Father, give me time, give me money, give me a cooperative spouse, give me 6 extra hours before noon. And we smile, because who am I hoping to instruct? Am I to influence God, or to inform omniscience that the casserole is staging a rebellion? Oh, not at all. Not at all. Prayer in a busy house is not petition for forms. True prayer, even with the smoke alarm warming up its solo, is realization, awareness, contact. The single prayer that works anywhere, in any noise, is the turn within to feel presence. If there is contact, the added things arrange themselves in their rightful order. If there is no contact, we are left with thinking about God, and thinking won't make this so. Let me give you an old, simple picture, because it has never failed me. You do not stand outside begging the sun, please warm me, please tan me, please, today, shine just for me. You step into the sunshine. And because the nature of sun is light and warmth, warmth and light are automatic. They are not rewards, they are inevitabilities of contact. In the same way, you do not plead with God for effects, more time, better moods, fixed traffic, polished children. You step into God awareness. Seek me only. Seek me only. That is the on-the-spot line. Not dramatic, no incense. 10 seconds turned inward, listening, until the click is felt. Then, automatically, lawfully, the qualities that belong to God appear as right action, right word, right timing. Does the outer event always change in that instant? Not necessarily. The pan may still be hot. The inbox may still resemble a small nation. But the standpoint from which you meet it has changed. Before, you were a separate I wrestling an unruly universe. Now, in the click, presence is the actor, and you are the place where it shows itself. Tone changes. Timing changes. Wisdom appears where argument was rehearsing. You turn the burner down, you rinse what can be rescued, and you answer the call without the old sting riding your voice. The same facts, a new center. And from that center, right outcome begins to unfold, not by pleading, but by law. Sun and warmth, God and harmony. Make this practical. The email flares, subject line in capital letters, as if shouting could manufacture truth. Before reply, seek me only. Seek me only. 10 seconds. Then you write from presence, not from heat. Half the words you were going to use fall away, and the one sentence that needs saying arrives intact. The child in a small hurricane of feeling, volume impressive for such a small body. Before the fixer storms in, seek me only. You kneel, you breathe with them, and you find language that belongs to peace, not to panic. Spouse tension. Two histories meeting in one kitchen. Before defense mounts its case, seek me only. Suddenly you hear the sentence beneath the sentence, and you answer that, not the noise. Traffic stops. Everyone late, horns believing they are prophets. Eyes on the road, heart turned within. Seek me only. And you discover you are not imprisoned by miles. You are carried by presence. Perhaps a lane opens, perhaps not. But irritation loosens, creativity wakes, and the next wise call is made from quiet instead of from complaint. Do not mistake this for passivity. Oh, not at all. Not at all. We are not making halos while the soup burns. We are turning from effects to cause, from pictures to principle, from outside to the sun itself. Never pray for anything at all except a deeper awareness of God's presence. For when awareness is there, really there, the warmth is inevitable. Provision in right measure, cooperation without coercion, timing that surprises you by being precisely enough. Keep the line in your pocket. Practice it audibly if you must, silently if you can. Seek me only. Seek me only. 10 seconds, and the pan, the phone, the people, and the plans are no longer your masters. The presence, felt even briefly, becomes the quiet governor of the moment. And all these added things take their proper places. Now let us come to the hidden engine of hurry. Because if we do not uncover it, we will merely learn to be frantic with slightly better manners. What is this strain that stiffens the shoulders and makes the calendar look like a set of teeth? It is the small sentence we rarely say out loud but carry like a badge. It is on me. I must manage my world. If I let down, it all falls. That is the tyrant. Not the tasks, not the phones. The tyrant is the separate sense of me that believes it is outside of God, trying to get to God for help, and then resenting that God has a busy signal. Oh, not at all. Not at all. There is no me outside of God. Where God is, I am. And where I am in truth, God is being Himself as the very life of this minute. Now, let me ask the questions that loosen the knot. Where does your life end and God's care begin? Where does outside stop and inside start? Does mercy stand beyond your skin, waiting for a better traffic pattern? Is there an invisible border where omnipresence says, I'll cover from here to here, but you're on your own past Wednesday? Or is it possible, just possible, that the whole picture lives within one life, one presence, one consciousness, and that what we call me is a function, an expression, not a separate owner? As a matter of fact, when the private me tightens, everything becomes heavy and urgent. The email is not an email, it is an ultimatum. The child's question is not a question, it is a test of your worthiness. The stove is not a tool, it is a tribunal. But when the me relaxes, when for 10 seconds we yield the throne, wisdom that was here all along becomes available. A response arrives that you did not invent. The timing shifts under your feet, as if the floor itself were friendly. Burdens do not multiply. They sort themselves by reality rather than by noise. Let us hurry to reassure, because someone has just imagined a gray, personalityless saint fading into the wallpaper. Oh, not at all. Not at all. This does not erase color or humor or responsibility. It erases false ownership. There is no my wisdom, no my supply, no my strength, any more than there is my sunshine. There is wisdom expressing, supply unfolding, strength acting, and what we have called me is the place of showing forth. We still sign the check, call the plumber, drive the car, kiss the child. But we do so as transparency, not as proprietor. How to practice this? In the very instant the urge to clutch arrives, say within, not as poetry but as fact, I live, yet not I. Christ liveth my life. Or, if you like our simple line, where God is, I am. Feel the shoulders fall a half-inch. Notice how the next right thing steps forward without requiring you to shove. If the head argues, you may even smile. Yes, you will need a sense of humor, because labor-saving devices have never saved anyone from a laboring I. The saving is in surrender. Deny thyself, that is, deny the orphaned me, and let divine selfhood carry what belongs to it. Try it now, lightly. Take the next inhale as if God were breathing it. Take the next glance as if presence were seeing through your eyes. Let the next word be spoken from that quiet center. Freedom does not come from finishing the list. It comes from yielding the carrier of the list. Busyness becomes bondage when a separate I tries to lift the universe. Freedom begins the moment that I bows out, and the one who was always here steps consciously onto the field. Where God is, I am, and the weight drops where it never belonged. Pick up a simple tumbler. Any kitchen glass will do. Borrow one from the sink that has survived 3 dishwashers and a child's science experiment. Now, look at it as if you had never seen one. Where does the outside leave off and the inside begin? Is there an outside glass and an inside glass, 2 separate beings negotiating a treaty at the rim? Or is there a tumbler? There is but glass, 2 sides in function, 1 in substance. The outside receives your hand, the inside receives the water. We are not speaking of 2 things, only 2 uses of 1 thing. Apply it to this very hour. You call part of your day outer. The calendar, the phone, the people with their wonderful opinions, the dishwasher that makes a sound like it is praying in tongues. Then you call another part inner, the peace you seek, the guidance, the click of presence. Are these two worlds? Or is there one life expressing as both? The secret of life is oneness. God is our invisible selfhood. We are the externalized form. We are only two in function. Oh, not at all. Not at all. This does not mean your schedule is sacred scripture. It means the substance of the whole picture is one presence. And therefore, you do not have to escape one side to reach the other. Real-time seeking becomes very simple on a messy day. The child calls while you are feeling that quiet click. Have you left God? No. You have moved from one side of the same glass to another function. The presence you touched is the very awareness hearing the child. The phone rings as you stir the pan. Is there an outside life yelling you out of the kingdom? No. The kingdom is the glass. The ring and the stir are functions upon it. Turn, in place, not to flee the picture, but to recognize its substance. Seek me only. 10 seconds, a breath, and the click reveals that the actor of this moment is not a private me, but the one life appearing as conversation, as stirring, as answer. Try it in the corridor, where fluorescent lights hum their peculiar psalm. Your supervisor waves a project you did not order. The old reflex says, "I'm thrown off my center." Who is thrown? If there is but glass, you have no private center to lose. The center lives you. Let the thought fall. Feel the shoulders ease a fraction. And remember, where God is, I am. Then answer from the same presence that a moment ago was silence and is now speech. Inside/outside? 2 words for one life. This is why we rise above the sea of thought, not to reach a different world, but to see this one rightly. Oneness makes seeking simple. Contact is not distant. It is immediate, because there is nowhere to travel. The glass you are holding is the life you are living. There is but glass. There is but God. And where God is, I am. Right here, in the middle of this minute. Seek me only, and all these added things will find their rightful place upon the one substance that never leaves you. Now, because we live in a world where everything beeps as if it were a prophet, we will need a small tool, simple, slightly humorous, and sharp enough to cut through counterfeit urgency. Roll this word around inside your mouth. It's a funny sound. Bubble. Yes, bubble. A bubble is anything to which we attach undue importance. Anything that rises up and declares, "I am your savior," or hisses, "I am your doom." It could be a bill or a compliment, a ping or a pout. And the moment we kneel to it, it owns us. The mind anoints it. Emergency, essential, ultimate. Is it? Or is it a bubble? Let us be very clear on this, because we are not advocating negligence. Oh, not at all. Not at all. We are not letting babies cry for the sport of it, or abandoning deadlines like orphans on the curb. We are removing false worship. The sea of thought grants chaos its power by crowning every ping as a king. The Beeble detector takes back the crown. When urgency spikes, shoulders rise, jaw locks, breath forgets its manners. Pause 1 second and ask within, is this a Beeble? If it is, say so. Name it. The spell breaks. You have not dismissed the task. You have dismissed its tyranny. Then, 10 seconds. Seek me only. Feel the click. Now act, not as a hostage, but as a servant of presence. Let me parade a few of the household idols so we can recognize them in daylight. Inbox 0, Salvation by deletion. Bobble. Useful to sort letters, unfit to carry your peace. Social media approval. The tiny hearts that promise immortality. Bobble. Pleasant as sugar, not to be confused with food. The perfect routine. Worship of sequence and color-coded calendars. Bobble. Good servants, poor gods. The child's performance. My worth riding on a spelling test or a soccer kick. Bobble. Love the child, release the idol. Being right in an argument, polishing the trophy while the relationship bleeds. Bobble. Truth does not need your victory lap. Now here's the paradox that refuses to flatter our ego and yet saves our day. The way to have the rightful use of time, money, relationships, and success is to give up being owned by them. The way to have all these beebles in their right place is to surrender the desire that clutches and the fear that trembles. Give up the struggling, the fighting, the battling to secure them as personal possessions, and they begin to serve instead of enslave. Step into the sun, and warmth arrives without negotiation. Turn within, seek me only, and function comes into order without your panic as foreman. Practice quickly, lightly. The subject line screams. Label it. Ah, a bebble. 10 seconds of presence, then answer in one clear paragraph instead of 5 anxious ones. The post gets few likes. Smile. A bebble. 10 seconds, and your value returns to its true address. The morning routine shatters before breakfast. Bebble. 10 seconds. You keep the spirit and drop the outline. The child stumbles. Bebble. 10 seconds. You remember to love the being, not manage the report card. Your spouse says words that tilt the room. Bebble. 10 seconds. You choose peace over triumph and discover wisdom has better timing than your pride. A bibble is false importance. Name it, and you are free to act wisely. Refuse the name, and it will ride you all day. So keep the detector near. Ask it anywhere, everywhere. Is this a bibble? Then, seek me only. Feel the click, and let the added things line up like well-trained tools, not masters, upon the one life that is living you. Let us make this very practical, very fast, because life does not wait for our outlines. Interruptions are not enemies, they are bells. Each bell asks the same move. Stop, soften, seek the quiet point, listen, then act. That is all. Not a ceremony. 10 seconds. A click. Rise for a breath above the sea of thought, then come right down as action. Action from presence, not panic. First bell. You wake late. The clock plays historian and lists everything that is now ruined. Stop. Refuse self-condemnation. It is a bibble with a fancy hat. Soften the shoulders. One breath. Seek me only. Feel the click. Listen. What is the next right thing? Not the 10th, not the outline of a doomed day, just the next right thing. Make the bed lightly, or skip it lightly. Wash the face. Send one honest note if one is needed. Where God is, I am. The day has not escaped God overnight. Second bell. A child spills or storms, orange juice like a small river, voice like weather. Stop. Drop the performance identity. You are not auditioning for perfect parent. Soften. Kneel in tone before you kneel in towels. Seek me only. The child is within the same life. Let tone be healed first. Words arrive from peace. Then wipe what can be wiped, hold what can be held, and let the lesson be love, not lecture. Third bell. Workplace pressure. 3 deadlines wearing the same suit. Stop. Ambition and fear both pretend to be prophets. Soften. Seek me only. From presence you serve the work, not your image. Listen. What is truly first? Let priorities reorder without drama. 1 email sent in God is worth 5 sent in hurry. Fourth bell. A conflict text. Hot syllables on a small screen. Stop. Delay the reflex to defend the I. Soften. Seek me only. Ask, what is true here? Not, how do I win? Listen for the sentence underneath the sentence. Then answer from presence, perhaps with fewer words, perhaps with none until later. Fifth bell. Financial anxiety. Numbers marching like soldiers. Stop. Refuse mental arithmetic as prayer. Oh, not at all. Not at all. We will balance books, but we will not worship columns. Soften. Seek me only. Awareness first. Supply follows as right ideas, right timing, right restraint, right opportunity. Listen, then take the next simple step. Make the call. Cancel the non-essential. Give thanks for what is here. Sixth bell. A health symptom flares. Pain, dizziness, a pulse that tries to write headlines. Stop. Do what is prudent outwardly. Call, rest, take the medicine. But inwardly, rest from fear. Soften. Seek me only. Feel the click. The presence of God is the insurance policy. Listen. What now? Perhaps quiet and water. Perhaps help. Act without the theater of doom. Seventh bell. End of day exhaustion. The mind wants a replay with commentary and penalties. Stop. Lay down the scoreboard. It is a bevel with lights. Soften. Seek me only. Touch presence as completion, not evaluation. Listen. Is there one amends to make? One gratitude to voice? Do it. Then release the day to the life that lived it. This is the minute-by-minute kingdom. 7 bells, 70 times 7. Stop. Soften. Seek. Listen. Act. Interruptions are the ushers of grace, calling us back to the quiet point so that right action may proceed and the added things find their places without our panic as foreman. Seek me only. Where God is, I am. And the day becomes one life, inside and out, governed by presence. Now, because practice likes handles, let us take a simple handle for 7 days. A small fast, not from food, from a word. For the next 7 days, reduce the voicing of I, me, mine. Not as superstition, not as a new law to beat yourself with, as a mirror. A bright, friendly mirror that reveals how often the personal self jumps to own, to claim, to fear, to boast, to apologize for existing, to rehearse its virtues and its injuries. Just listen for it. Count, if you like, for comedy. I. You may discover a chorus where you thought there was a solo. Oh, not at all. Not at all. This is not word magic. We are not saved by pronoun removal. We are using language to uncover reliance. How often does a separate I seize the microphone and direct the play? When you hear it, smile. That is the practice. Not scolding, not tightening. Smile, and shift the sentence so it serves presence, rather than props up the proprietor. How? Keep speech natural. Keep it human. Simply lean the words toward we, toward this moment, toward function. I think we should start can become, let's begin here. I need that report by 3 becomes, the report is due at 3. I'm so tired becomes, tiredness is here. Let's pause a minute. I don't know can become, let's see. My plan is becomes, the plan today is. You are not erasing personality. You are removing false ownership. There is no my wisdom, no my supply, no my strength. There is wisdom, supply, strength, appearing as this work, this hour, this breath. And yes, you will catch yourself mid-sentence. Well, let's say it this way. That catching is not failure. It is the very success you came for. The light switched on. The actor trying to run the theater has been seen sneaking across the stage and gently shown to a seat. Deny thyself does not mean deny your humanity. It means deny the orphaned me, the one that believes it lives outside the glass. We can gradually die to that I. Die daily. Smile, rename, and move on. Pair the outer fast with its inner counterpart. When the inner I rises, claiming, fearing, defending, do not fight it. Fighting feeds it. Name it. Ah, the little proprietor. Then return at once. Seek me only. 10 seconds, a click. I live, yet not I. Christ liveth my life. Where God is, I am. The shoulders drop a fraction. The next word becomes cleaner, less theatrical, more useful. You will discover something beautiful by the 3rd day. Space opens in speech. Pauses are not empty, they are full. Others feel welcomed because you are not wrestling to decorate the I while they talk. Decisions land without the drum roll. Humor returns, the true kind that frees instead of digs. And what of mistakes? You will make them. Oh, not at all. This is no perfection contest. Each time you hear the old pronoun leap, take it as a bell. Seek me only. Shift the line. Continue. 7 days. Light, sincere, playful, persistent. Reduce the automatic I, and you will see how busyness took its orders from a phantom general. As the general stands down, divine selfhood steps forward, not with trumpets, but with the quiet authority of the sun. Then speech, like action, begins to belong to one life expressing itself, and ordinary words become a clear window for presence. Now let us bring the whole matter home, very simply, very kindly. 2 bookends. Never begin the day, and never end the day, without touching the inner contact. That alone will steady the shelf and keep the books from tumbling. And let us be clear, the aim at those edges is not a better set of conditions, not a quieter household, not a perfected schedule. Oh, not at all, not at all. The aim is one thing only, a deeper awareness of presence. Seek me only. For when the contact is made, when that click is felt even for a breath, the day is lived from supply and not from strain, from assurance and not from argument. In the morning, before the phone tells you who you are, before the calendar auditions for the role of God, sit or stand. Kitchen light, bathroom mirror, edge of the bed makes no difference, and turn within. 10 seconds will do if 10 are all you have, though you may find 15 on your own. Rise for a breath above the sea of thought. Where God is, I am. Listen, not for sentences, but for presence. When the click comes, some know it as a softening, some as quiet warmth, some as a simple, wordless yes. Then go about your washing, and your keys, and your shoes. The presence of God is the insurance policy. With it, the hours report for duty under grace. At night, do not go to bed with the scoreboard. The mind would love to replay the game, complete with penalties and commentary. Lay it down. It is a bevel with lights. Sit on the side of the bed or lean against the sink while the toothbrush does its honest work, and return to the same place. Seek me only. Touch the click. Let the day be gathered back into the one who lived it. If there is one amends, make it quickly in the heart or by a simple note. If there is one gratitude, whisper it and release it, but do not outline tomorrow. We are finishing above the sea of thought, not drafting another storm. Let us meditate a few minutes and take the outline with you. Relax the body. Let the shoulders drop a fraction. Feel the jaw unlock. Hands rest. Breathe without managing it. Now let thought waves do as ocean waves do. Rise, curl, fall. Do not push them. Do not surf them. Rise gently above them, as awareness, not as thinker. Turn within on a single line. Seek me only. Listen. No petition. No promising God improved behavior. Just listening. When the click is felt, however light, let it be enough. Rest there a moment, without reaching for effects. Then let gratitude appear of itself, not for things, but for presence. A simple, thank you, that points to no outline. Close the silence, without closing the awareness. This is how the kingdom ceases to be a future ideal and becomes your standpoint. Morning and evening, contact. Assurance takes its rightful seat. Fear resigns its post. Ideas arrive when needed. Opportunities knock without shouting. Restraint and courage take turns wisely. Where God is, I am. You are not entering chaos alone. You are not leaving peace behind. The kingdom is at hand, bookended, carried, and quietly active in the middle of your noisy, beautiful life. Seek me only, and let all these added things take their places by law.